Hello and welcome to Nanny Yoga. So this week I'm doing something a bit different. I'm talking to you about how to have a home yoga practice. I've talked to so many people on social media who are really interested in this, having a home yoga practice. And why would you need one? Well, you might be too busy, you've got work, you've got extra activities, life gets in the way, eating is also very important, sleeping, and you may not have the time to fit in an hour of yoga in your week or after work or before work. So that's where it's really good. If you're an introvert and you are a little bit self-conscious or don't really want to, whatever reason you have for not wanting to be in a huge group setting, that is totally fine. So this is why a home yoga practice would be really good for you. And then lastly, if you want to, on the other side, you want to have that extra bit from having a lesson where maybe you've got a teacher who gives you a bit of homework, who tells you a few poses, and there's switches on in your head and you watching TV and you're like, oh, I want to try this pose while I'm doing this, and to see a bit of advancement in your yoga practice, then that's also really good for you. I'm not really an advocate for like, let's get this pose nailed, because then it kind of puts you on a sort of addiction of yoga where you always want to find the next pose. But I think we all like challenges. And on another note, instead of doing skiers and snowboarders yoga and beginners yoga, at the end of the month of August 2019, I'll be doing a beginners yoga challenge. So I really hope you can join me. I'm super excited and nervous about it, so that'll be really cool. What will you get out of doing yoga at home? Well, you have your own time. You can use either a book or a YouTube video. Hello, you can watch my YouTube videos, or also plenty of other fantastic yoga teachers, and online yoga studio memberships as well, which are really cost effective, like $25 US to $15 a month. I work in yen, but I can't work that out in my head right now. Also, the benefits, other than being at home and being in your own space, getting to choose your own time when it suits you, that's one of actually the things that will push you to do a home yoga practice, is to either get there in the morning when you find time, or in the evening. That's something that I'll discuss later. So the other benefits is like you'll feel calmer, it can really help you deal with stress better. It can also lead you, because you're doing more yoga and more self-awareness, to actually start a meditation practice, which is something I really want to talk about in another yoga video, because I love meditation, and at first I laughed when I said that someday I'll be teaching meditation, which now I feel really bad about. Anyway, so yeah, other than relieving stress, also you may want to work a little bit at home. My husband is a secret yogi. He does not like to practice with me. He actually barely comes to my lesson. He has recently, but that's only because I showed him this wonderful yoga sequence by this amazing yoga teacher called Jason Crandall, and he does a sort of lower back sequence, which is amazing, which I've seen him do. And randomly, like a couple of months later of him doing yoga every now and then, I get up a bit later than him, or he does it before bed. He goes to bed before me, and his yoga practice has like advanced, and I don't mean it like, oh wow, he's doing this amazing poses. It's just like his posture and his lower back's got better, and his how he moves his body in the poses is just gotten, well, I shouldn't say look, but it looks like it feels a lot better in his body than when I first met him. And he was seriously one of those people that would be like this, and just not the way to stretch your body out and have mobility. So anyway, so what are the difficulties of yoga at home? And I am totally guilty of this. I do tend to sometimes really get into yoga. Like today I did an hour. I haven't done an hour in a long time, and that was with no yoga video. It's just about making the mental time. It's like if you're a jogger, you will make the time to go jogging. If you love cooking, you will make the time to cook your meals. I'm not a cook, so I never make the time, and then I'm really hungry, and then I have to, so like, I'm a terrible cook. So just all these little things that add up to be able to do yoga at home is just making the time. Yes, we are all busy, but there is a disease of busyness, and I think that you can really benefit from making time. I think that's something new that I keep hearing in the wellness world, and I'm definitely think that I'm a lot luckier because I have my busy periods and my quieter periods. But another really good tip is to have a minimum. So that's a good thing about yoga. I mean, you could sit here for 5 minutes and just breathe, and that is you doing yoga. The other thing about yoga that is off of the mat is like how you then deal with things in life that you cannot control. I am a really short-tempered, impatient person. I used to be more so, and since doing more meditation yoga, I'm still like that, but I've really noticed how things bother me a lot less that would seriously screw with me before, because I just take it all way too seriously. And yeah, there's the benefit of a home yoga practice. I think the other things that people are worried about doing a home yoga practice, like, oh, I'm not very good, or I'm a beginner, or it's too cold, it's too hot, there's bugs, there's not enough sunlight. I mean, you could have all of the excuses, but the end of the day, you're just doing a bit of yoga. Just give it a go and have that minimum time, whether that's like 5 minutes or maximum half an hour. This is something I learned from a podcast by Shannon Crow. She's a really cool, lovely yoga teacher and coach. And yeah, I really like the idea, and I did it, and it really worked for me. Just 5 minutes minimum, and then, you know, if you go over it, then you feel great afterwards. So minimum to maximum, and for me it was like 5 minutes minimum a day to half an hour maximum, and then it just feels more like you can fit it and make time for it. Another huge issue for me, and this is especially the case if you're like quite keen on YouTube, I'm so sorry, the crickets are so loud. It's summer. It's really quiet in winter. But anyway, oh, sorry, I've lost my trail of thoughts. So, another huge distraction is technology. I think having your mobile. This is actually why I film myself doing yoga, because if I'm filming, I can't just like Google something or like change the music, or man, like I must want to Google something like every 2 minutes. It's terrible what's going on in my mind. But that leaves you to not be distracted, to focus on yourself, and also if I've got a YouTube video, I have to just choose it and also try not to stop it. And I think technology is really distracting us for a lot of things, and the best thing to do is just to keep it away. So another tip, another reason why you might find it difficult to do yoga at home is to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, no one else will take care of you as much as you can take care of yourself. So, what are the tips to actually do yoga at home? So I have 10 tips. They're pretty long, but let's get through it. So, here are my 10 tips. Number 1, I actually created a schedule for you. It's like cute, and it has like numbers and days of the week, so you can kind of have it as like a template, or you can even have it on your phone as a PDF and you download it. So that's just, the link is below, and you just kind of can write what your yoga is going to be like for the week, and then you can just make time for it. So this is the whole making time for yoga. So if you want to download that, link is below, and yeah, feel free to use it. This is for you. This is my gift for you. Number 2 is the best time for you to do yoga. So it can be, I mean, you don't have to practice yoga every day. I have a feeling that I have to, but I really don't, and you don't either. So you could do like, I'm just going to do it on Wednesdays or Saturdays or this time at night. Just make sure your stomach's empty, and just make sure that you've kind of mentally prepared even the night before what time you'll be doing it, and it'll be just that little bit easier to do it. Another tip, number 3, is to have a space already. So like, I mean, even next to my bed I could technically do yoga. I'm quite lucky that we've got quite minimal content in this little second room of ours. We have multiple places to put our stuff. That's everywhere. I'm not actually a minimalist. I wish I was. But anyway, and if you just have your mat laid out, sometimes I have it laid out and then I feel guilty. So, you know, you can like hop on, or if you have it around, like, you know, bundled up, rolled up, you can just kind of put it out and just, you know, well, my husband cooks dinner for me. I'm very lucky, and for example, then I'll be like, okay, I'll just do a few moves, because generally at night I find it hard to make time to do yoga or meditation. So number 4 is using technology to your advantage. So for example, there's so many YouTube videos. You can watch my YouTube videos. You can also use a book. Actually, if you're a complete beginner, I would recommend to use a book. Find a book that resonates with you. My friends bought like Man Flow Yoga. Yeah, they loved it because it's, you know, it's very niche to flows yoga for men. And, you know, goddess pose is made into some other like manly word. And so just find a book actually if you're starting, because you can really take your time, you can look at the picture, you kind of work it out, seeing your body, and it just allows you just a bit more freedom overall. And yeah, and if not, then you can always watch my YouTube channel. So if you're a beginner, the hardest thing is to start. So if you've never, even if you've gone to a few yoga classes but you never quite got into yoga at home, just either find a book, YouTube video, make the time, or just if you memorize some movements, just give them a try. And getting on your mat, just starting, it's like, I don't jog, but I'm guessing if you're going to start jogging, you're not gonna do like an hour and 30 minutes of running like Usain Bolt, because that's way too much. So just start a little bit. So, you know, whether that's that 5-minute minimum or up to 20 plus minutes, just allow yourself to have that time. Be not too harsh on yourself, do whatever you can do, and you know, it's a habit and you'll build it up slowly, and your body will tell you when it needs to do yoga and get on the mat once you get into that really good habit, because it feels nice. So if you are starting already on your yoga mat and you've started with your yoga practice, then well done. You did it. You've taken care of yourself. You are just taking time out to de-stress, to unwind, and to just raise more self-awareness, which is 100% what happened with me, and I'm really glad that I started with yoga classes and a book. Finally, the best thing about practicing at home is to get more into that consistency, because obviously life gets in the way. Sometimes you'll go on holiday, something will happen, life, did I say life? Work, and the best thing for you to do is just try and keep that consistency. And by that I mean, like, doesn't matter if you have a week or 2 or 3 off, just try and go back to it and don't be so hard on yourself and just enjoy it. So I really hope that these tips help you, and if you would like to get the schedule for your to build up a home yoga practice, at least you have something visual and cute that you can kind of use to kind of hold yourself accountable. If not, message me on here or comments below, or find me online, and yeah, on social medias, and just let me know if you started yoga at home, because that's so awesome and I'd be very happy that you did. And if not, I'll be here again next week with some actual yoga lessons next week. So please join me next week, and like, subscribe, and share with a friend who needs to start or who's thinking about practicing at home. So thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you.